Welcome back to Raw the podcast. I'm your host, Allie, founder of TheCheekyClean and Conscious Cart, consuming brands to help you live and shop smarter. And I am so excited to be here with my friend and local business owner of Bronze and Beauty, Ceci Roman. Ceci is the owner of Bronze and Beauty, a beauty boutique of better-for-you products and services. Bronze and Beauty sources the best, highest quality products possible, from their spray tan solution, which I love, to their teeth whitening formula, all naturally derived, vegan, cruelty-free, and free of parabens and sulfates. Look no further for the cleanest spray tan in Cleveland, and that is Cheeky approved.
Yeah, that was a big deal back in the day.
It still is.
Or how we met, I should say.
Yes. But Ceci, welcome to the podcast.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here,
I'm so
Allie.
excited to have you here.
It's been a long time coming, but it's the right
time. I know. My whole strategy for season 2 of the podcast is to really invite guests on who I am personally inspired by. And it could be a friend, a business owner, whatever it is, like someone that I genuinely want to have
I'm so grateful.
A deep conversation with. And every time that I see you, I feel like we could like stay for hours,
Slumber
like
party.
talking about the gosh knows what. And I think it's rare when you do have that connection with someone and are on such a similar journey. And it's been so beautiful to connect with you over the last couple years.
Really. And being at different stages in life. I'm 52. You're obviously younger than me, way younger. But yeah, just it's been fun to have it naturally just grow.
Agreed. So let's talk about where we met. So I, as everyone knows, am always on a mission for finding the best conscious, clean brands locally. And when I moved back to Cleveland, against my will, truly, like it was for a promotion with my corporate job, I was so focused on finding the local brands that were providing access to better products in our community in all industries, because I didn't want to revert back to a maybe more commercial toxic lifestyle like I had prior to living in California, where those options are more abundant. So I also was kind of like unaligned in my corporate job. So on the weekends, like finding places and connecting with people who were also in that space of small businesses, small batch, cleaner products was really, really inspiring to me. So you guys had an open house, I think.
Yes.
And you had, and I want to say, I'm trying to remember like how it came to my attention that you were having it.
Yeah.
It was one of the vendors posted about it.
We had the plants. Can't think of Emily's plants.
Emily, that's the connection.
Yes,
so Emily at Flows and Grows, I went to her yoga class and studio, and I don't know if she was at the farmer's market yet. She was like, oh my gosh, like you would love this place. At the time, you guys were called Everything Beauty. You've rebranded since. And she's like, they're having an open house. Like you would love it. I'm like, cool. Like I'll come check it out. And I never actually even thought about a clean spray tan at the time. I kind of just avoided spray tanning in general because it's pretty toxic.
And for different reasons. Down even to our filtration system that we have, extraction
100%.
units. There is a couple reasons why I think that make a difference.
But it was something that, of course, I would do every now and again because, you know, I had gotten married, like whatever it was. And I saw how much better I felt with a tan.
Yes, it is a game changer because I love natural beauty, of course. Right? But I won't lie, there's something about just being tan that gives you a little pep in your step.
And so, and I've always been a fan of moderation and making conscious choices. So even if you want to go to McDonald's and get a burger, it's knowing what is this doing to fuel my body, what potential dangers are there, and how am I going to, you know, maybe implement some detox methods to make sure that I can process through whatever's not natural. So I was still like open to getting spray tans, even though I was a clean living type of person. But when I walked in there and met you guys and I saw some of the other products that you were offering and you told me about your clean spray tan, I was freaking mind blown, honestly.
And Olivia being a brand that you liked.
Love it.
Like, sort of that's the premise of like Bronze and Beauty. It's just better for you.
So how did you get to the point of opening up a space, or I guess like what attracted you? Because we'll get to your story on like how you got to opening the space, but what attracted you to finding a cleaner spray tan formula? Because that is where it's very unique. I don't know anyone else in Cleveland that's offering something that's better for you in
Yeah.
that regard.
So, of course, my journey personally put me in a situation where my health became a really big priority.
Okay.
So I started going down the path of better for you,
Mhm.
everything, because I needed to detox the heavy
Yeah.
burden I had on
Yeah.
my body. So being that I was in the beauty industry, I wanted to give people that option.
Yeah.
Every decision like stacks upon each other. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, for the people that maybe aren't on the same journey, like, you have to do this one,
Right.
but I just wanna give people
The option.
yes, the option if they
Yeah.
care about these things.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit about my own journey and then trying to give this option for people that do care about something, like the
Absolutely.
ingredients and everything that they are putting on their
Yeah.
body. Yeah.
And how did you find the solution?
Yep, so someone that's been in the industry for probably 25 to 30 years also believes in the better for you lifestyle.
Mhm.
So she formulated this, product a couple years ago, and
So
since
cool.
day one, we've carried it. Yeah.
That is so
Yeah,
awesome. So,
yeah.
and what do you guys call it on your website?
Yeah, it's the minimalist.
The
Yeah,
Minimalist.
yeah.
It is so badass.
Yes, it's just that perfect, like you were in the sun, like it
Yep.
complements exactly what you would do in the sun,
Yep.
and we can get any range you need, with, like you said, the minimal ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I obviously was super attracted to that and very into it. And so our interest in more conscious beauty
Yep.
really aligned.
Yep.
But you guys were hosting an event. It's not like we really got to know each other
No.
all that well then. And I think the cool thing about the beauty industry in general and, any consuming type of product, as we were talking, is not about the material product, it's about the energy behind it. And I've talked so much about that on the podcast when I recommend a product. It's like, who's the brand behind it? And what is the consciousness of what that product is bringing you outside of just paying money and getting a thing? And when you spray tan someone, it's a very intimate
Yes.
situation. I
Yeah.
mean, first off, you're like nude
Yeah, yeah.
and fully bare in
Yes.
front of someone, which I
Yes.
think in itself is like a vulnerable
Huge
space.
for every person that I've sprayed. It's a vulnerable
It
situation regardless
is.
of age, size,
Yes.
size. It doesn't matter. It's very intimate. Yeah.
And so from the beginning, your energy in itself was so welcoming and calming and gave me this, like freedom to be having like a deep conversation with
Yes.
you while you're spray tanning me.
Yeah.
And just over time, as I was coming in and getting sprayed here and there, we built a friendship.
Yeah.
And you were instrumental in changing my life. I was at a point where it was before I quit my job. I was in this like dark night of the soul. And I remember you were spraying me and you're like, so how's everything going? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I really feel like I need some guidance right now. Like, I'm in a very confusing space and I'm not sure where to go from here. And you were like, you should meet my friend Lisa. I really think it would be someone that could really help you. She does energy work, whatever. And you introduced me to,
Lisa.
now one of the closest people in my life, Lisa.
Yes.
And that kicked off this like ball rolling for me
Yeah.
of going to Dr. Joe, leaving my job,
Yes.
completely changing my life to live more alignment and more
Yes.
from spirit. And I always think about that every time I see you is like, wow, that conversation that we had, what seemed on the surface, maybe from
Yes.
someone like looking at it from a, 500-foot view is like, oh, I'm just getting a spray tan. But in reality, it was like you were listening, you were opening your heart to me, and you made this little recommendation that kind of like switched the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that and your heart.
And I think that's how I lead everything with Bronze and Beauty. Like,
Yeah.
I truly am so just passionate
Yeah.
about people and just taking the opportunity to listen if it's big or small. Some
Yeah.
conversations are really just like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
But for the ones where we do have a connection of some
Mhm.
kind, it's fun to just be able to share things that are important to me. And I really, like I said, it's really a passion thing for me. I really want to make a space
You
where
have
it's like,
a natural ability to be so present with people. That is a very rare thing,
thank you.
especially in this world of distraction.
Yeah, it's important to me, and I'm this career's later in life for me, which is a
Yeah.
blessing too. It was a
Mhm.
choice I got to make,
Yeah.
and I take it really like fun but seriously. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I I was obviously so grateful for the support that you provided me in that moment, but I was so inspired by you prior to from our conversations that we had that I think when you made that recommendation, like I took it to heart and felt like it was something I really needed to hear from someone that I really respect. And I feel honored to have known more about your story and how you got into creating a better for you beauty brand and what brought you there. And that's some of the conversations that we would have over the spray tans
and our quick 20-minute.
Yes. And I was just like, wow, this is so cool. So when we, now I'm on the podcast and talking about different business owners that have really inspired me through the growth that they've been through personally, you are an epitome of that. I would love if we could kind of like take it back a notch and talk about your story and how you've overcome challenges and how you even got to the space of opening up a business.
So I am a mom of 4, and I was a stay-at-home mom, but also we have another small business that we run that I helped with.
Okay.
And as the kids got older, just like a lot of moms, we put ourselves last.
Yeah.
And I just really let myself go in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually.
And I think going back even further, you mentioned before the podcast, which I didn't know, that you're first generation.
Yeah, I am first generation here. My mom is from El Salvador. My dad's from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So that was a huge, at the time, I thought, disadvantage, of course, too, to to all the dreams that we could have.
Yeah.
So I was a stay-at-home mom. And when I started to have a little more time, I got lucky and I got a job at a beauty counter. And it gave me something where I could just be myself and like feel good. And that's where the beauty part came into it. Like I know it is superficial on the outside, but it just gives you a freedom of that you can't.
Totally.
It's just a different kind of freedom.
It's like a way to express yourself and feel confident, even if maybe inside you aren't.
Yes. And on the outside, I was definitely not confident because, like I said, I didn't take care of myself for a long time. But
And was that because you were so used to taking care of other people, you think? Or maybe even just like growing up, like you said, feeling different? It was like you kind of learned to maybe like disown your own needs.
Yeah, and my parents were always gone working, having to work hard. And so I was raised by my grandmas, which I love to pieces now, and now it all makes sense. But their love language was food, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when your parents maybe aren't around because they're working really hard and you're not understanding this as a child, it became my comfort, of course. So that's sort of where not taking care of myself started younger. So as I kept having children and not taking care of myself, I just got really out of shape. Physically also.
Yeah.
So, and that affects, as we know, everything. But then beauty was able to still give me some confidence because it didn't matter what, and I'll equate this to size, what size I was,
totally.
right? Like that is a part of this reality of the world we live in. So it gave me an outlet that I could use to express myself and feel good about myself in those short moments. And no one could take that away from me. So as I started to think about where I wanted to go after I was done being a mom or, raising the kids, I decided to go to beauty school to be an esthetician. So I am fully licensed, thinking that I would do a full-blown studio, which why it was called Everything Beauty. But as I started to really feel out the industry, I really wanted to just be more nichey, and I wanted to do the spray tans because I like instant gratification too.
Yeah.
And then the makeup part of it or the beauty products became a part of that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you are very much in a different space now, I would say, and maybe mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually than you were when you started the brand? Or how did it come to this place of wanting to live more consciously and provide these better for you products because you were wanting to live better yourself?
Yeah. So I'll tell you sort of a quick story too. In October 14th, 2015, I took a random picture of a beauty store and in my head dreaming for that one day. So not realizing that I put a dream in my heart, we moved into this current studio October 13th of 2026. No, sorry, 2025. It was a 10-year, literally almost to the day.
Wow.
I have the picture with the date on it.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like, did I make this up?
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that's powerful.
Yeah. I just want people to know like things can take time and dreams, you don't even know that they're coming your way. But so anyways, 2015, I took that picture. 2025, I moved to the studio. So in this 10-year span, a lot of things came my way where I realized actually in 2020 when COVID hit. This is the turning point. 2018, Everything Beauty started. I
Okay.
had a one little room studio.
Spray tans?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
at that time, truly, I treated it like a hobby. It was just a
Mhm.
little outlet. I wasn't really worried about the income. I wasn't mentally ready to take
Right.
anything
You're
on.
like, "I just want something outside of being a mom right now, and I'm
Yes.
passionate about this industry, and so this is
Yes.
something that's
It's yeah,
fun."
yeah, and I get to connect with people.
Yeah.
So anyways, so 2020, I got really sick with COVID, to the point where I really did think that was it.
Oh my god.
And it's funny how prayers get answered.
Mm,
I prayed for so many things for so long, and that was a hard time, obviously, for everyone, but that was the turning point of my life.
right.
S
When you say really sick,
Yeah, like, I was like, "I think this might be it."
like, in the
Yeah.
hospital?
So it's funny, at that time,
Mm,
they weren't really taking people in the hospital,
right.
like, that, like, really crucial, like, March, end of March, beginning of
Yeah.
April. So it was literally at home, like, one moment at a time, like, "Am I breathing still? I am." Like, that kind of mindset.
Wow.
But the beauty of it was it made me realize what life we do only have one life,
Mhm.
and that truly was when the change really started to happen.
And, like, something, like, shook you awake.
Shook me awake, and, it's helped me in every aspect of my life, physically, mentally, relationships,
Mhm.
things that you just take for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for that time because it saved me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, when you say, like, everything changed, give us some details on, like, what that looks like.
Well, I'll be honest, like, this is a shallow answer, but my whole life has always been about what does the outside look like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was looking to get healthy. It was truly all about a number and what I looked like on the outsides.
Mhm.
Even after COVID and knowing I had to change something, it still was very superficial. So I was lucky to find an integrative health practitioner coach. I really don't know
Mhm.
what to
Mhm.
categorize it as, but
And what
um
led you to that?
yeah, so I don't really know. I just remember seeing gut instinct too, I think too, but
Yeah.
like I saw someone on social media talking about it and I was like, that I knew I couldn't go the traditional route for me myself. Felt like the medical world wasn't gonna do it for me. Just
Right. Maybe wasn't. I mean, you couldn't even, like, get in the
yeah, that was
hospital,
the
and
thing too.
it's
Like I
like
was yes, I
mm,
sort of had lost my faith in that too.
yeah.
So yeah, so Instagram, I found someone
Very
out of
cool.
state,
Uh-huh.
and she happened to just be starting a program where she was gonna really like do a lot of like the functional testing,
Yeah.
things that I sort of like, okay, I can get into this. And it started to test me on all levels. I had to do a 3-week detox,
Mhm.
which for Ceci, that's like I was the girl that woke up on a Monday. My goals were done by Tuesday. I was like, oh, we're good. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this. It's too
Yeah.
hard. All of
Yeah.
those things,
Yeah.
right? So I was challenged from the jump to challenge myself, I
And
guess.
change your habits a bit.
Yeah, change my habits, believe in myself. Like when I
Mhm.
heard 21 days, I was like, she's got to be out of her mind. And
Mhm.
then 2 days turned into 3. And then
Mhm.
4 days, I was like holding on for dear life. And then, I started to feel confidence, something I did not truly have. And
Mhm.
I'm still a work in progress in that. But I didn't even realize the magnitude of what these simple steps were going to add up to one day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how even clean beauty started because I started to learn about the detox, the heavy loads that we put on our body. I was like, oh, no wonder I couldn't fight off COVID. I was
Totally.
90 pounds overweight. I was, putting on every possible toxic thing on my body because I love makeup too. Ocean and candles
Yep.
and bath, I won't, yeah, all these different things. And I started to understand all of it adds up on
And
our
the
body.
burden that we carry, it builds and builds and builds over time, even when it on the surface seems like, oh, it's just these like small things.
Yes.
The burden builds so much over time
Yes.
that when your body does need to fight, it can't.
It can't, yes, and, yeah, it all adds up. It can be even down to your sleep,
Yep.
of course, I've learned so much more since then, but,
Hmm.
all of it added up. So that's how sort of the clean beauty p came into, like, fruition, and
Totally.
yeah.
And it's so holistic, and it's why it can never be like a one size fits all when it comes to conscious living, detox, like toxic free living.
Yes.
It's mind, body, soul because,
Yes.
you can do and especially now with the, GLP-1s and things that are available, like
Yeah.
you can change things physically,
Yes.
but if you aren't creating long-term consistent habits, any of that change is short-lived
Yes.
and
Yes.
it may not continue to fuel you. And I think, like, as I've talked about many times on the podcast before, it's like you can change physically, but if you're still carrying a heavy load soulfully or emotionally, you could still be just as sick as you were by
Yes,
living
and
unhealthy.
just as unhappy.
Unhappy,
And like I said, for
stressed.
so long, the number was the goal.
Yeah.
And that's the least impressive part of my story.
It's so
And that was
true.
always what I wanted the story to be about. And
Yes.
I'm like, whoa, that is not the story.
And it's so much of what we're taught. I mean, y- all of us. I mean, I grew up like, we grew up in tabloid era where it was like every time you'd go to the store with your mom, it's like you see all these skinny models everywhere and you
Yeah.
think like skinny is beautiful.
Yeah.
And we want to think as a society we've come such a long way and we talk about mental health now, but it's like we're back to that.
Yeah.
Now it's on social media and everyone is more worried about how thin they can get
Yeah.
and less worried about how aligned their spirit and their mind is and the
Yes.
quality of life that they're living. And one only can last so long without the other.
Yes. And I think that's the fun, intimate part about spray tanning.
Mm-hmm.
Learning to embrace, giving people a safe space
Mm-hmm.
when you're that vulnerable, to make them feel good.
Yeah.
I hear so many negative things from, like I said, it doesn't matter size or age.
Yeah.
That's what really blew my mind. Right? I thought the girl walking in that I always wanted to be.
Right.
And then when you're somewhere talking to someone and you realize we all have the same,
Totally.
I was just grateful and then also more compassionate or empathetic for people that we carry this with us.
Yeah.
So
And
that's,
wanting to help people on a deeper level
yeah.
than just,
And that's where the connection part comes into
yeah.
play, sort of what you were talking about. You know what I mean? This is the bigger story about the studio or
Yeah.
the people I get to meet every day,
Absolutely.
and giving them that freedom and that peace of mind. Even
Yeah.
if it's for a couple minutes,
Totally.
it just gives you a little something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So physically, so you started to implement some of these practices that the
Yeah.
integrative health doctor was prescribing for shifting your habits, shifting
Yeah.
your lifestyle, feeling better from a physical standpoint. I would imagine like starting to lose weight
Yeah.
and starting to overall on a blood panel and gut health, like things like that, like starting to realign.
Yeah.
So then how did those efforts translate into a change in your relationship, a
Yeah.
change in the way you were showing up for your business? Like, how did those habits start trickling into your other
Yeah,
ways
so
of
I think
life?
the funny part was too, I became less obsessed with the outside and I started focusing more on the inside. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good question. I don't know if like confidence came in. I don't know. I think the consistency of staying with something finally, even when the results maybe weren't huge, I started to feel just that confidence or my mission becoming more alive. And I think you said this on a podcast last year, but like being prepared helps you to like, what's the word? Like you sort of said, I'm sorry, but like you said, like we have to stay prepared to
Mm-hmm.
be able to like live out the mission,
Totally.
or the
Yep.
vessel, prepare the
Yeah.
vessel.
Prepare the vessel.
Okay. So I
Yep.
think you said that
Yep.
back in August or something. So
Because you can't hold this higher version of yourself
yeah. So like if I
unless you're
was,
ready for it.
yeah. So it's like I couldn't physically, literally, mentally do it. I was holding on for dear life. So I
100%.
think as I started to unload, it just helped my mind get clear. I started to, of course, like journal, fascia work, I mean, there was a lot of things that helped the inside energy
Yes.
start to flow.
Yes.
Praying, all of these
Yes.
little things that you have to incorporate, trusting, we'll say Lisa, like I started to surround myself with people that that I was ready to be like helped with, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
You were shifting your habits,
Yes.
which starts as this like conscious choice.
Yes.
And that's why I always say it's like having a product that I can give in life is a representation of a habit shift. And my whole purpose with the collagen or any supplements or any product that I will ever offer through Conscious Cart or that you offer is to add something into your day that helps you change the way that you're living a little bit.
Yes.
Even if it's just like putting a scoop in your coffee every day to help support your gut health, those little things start to add up.
Yeah.
And then you start to say, okay, if this one thing is making me feel good, what are other habits that I could add into my life that make me feel good?
Yep.
Journaling actually makes me feel really aligned.
Yes.
Praying makes me feel really aligned. And then suddenly you're making this like transformational shift.
Yeah.
Like we said, preparing the vessel for things, people, business opportunities to enter that are in alignment with this newer version of you.
Yeah.
So as you're changing and you're doing all of these different things, resurrounding yourself in your environment, eating different, living different, starting to look twice at maybe the products that you're offering, suddenly now, like, you have the capacity to hold something greater that you are already meant for, because you had that feeling when you took that picture in 20, what was it, 15?
Yeah.
You had something in there, but your vessel wasn't ready. You had to go through this becoming process in order to be able to hold that space as an individual and then for other people. So how did then you go from the one little room studio to opening up your own space?
So I think I started to realize that I had to take a chance on myself.
Yeah.
I
And you had the confidence too.
Yes, and I
Wow.
wanted to make a difference. Living small wasn't gonna give me that opportunity. So I took a leap before, quote unquote, I was probably ready to, sort of like what you did. I feel like if we wait a little
100%.
too long, then not that it's too late, but I don't know. You just got to take a chance on yourself.
Yes.
Hence where I also had Karina, my daughter, who
Mhm.
helps me with Bronze and Beauty. But
Yeah.
yeah, we just went for it when we took a chance. We opened up the next studio that you came into. So still not the vision of that picture.
Yeah.
So we were there for a couple years. I had 2 rooms. I hired my first employee, which was
Mhm.
exciting. And as I kept working on my personal, the business kept leveling up with me. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
exactly. All in alignment.
It is, and you have
Mhm.
to. It comes hand in hand. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think too, just vision.
Mhm.
Like the vision. I made a vision board, and I started to do those things that I again didn't even understand the magnitude of what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we got to a point where it was time to take the next leap. And now we opened our current space in Westlake, where it's the full blown build out. That picture is is what my studio is.
Yeah.
And it didn't even hit me till I was moving into the studio, and I went back looking through my pages. I'm like, did I make this up? Because you start to be like, am I
Yeah.
lying? Like, did I make
Yes.
up the date?
It's so crazy when you look back.
Dude. And I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my gosh, this is 10 years almost to the exact day that we opened the doors at our new location.
Wow.
So that's sort of truly it's the long game.
What you've done is no small feat. Like, you guys did a full renovation.
Yeah, full
and
renovation.
it is stunning.
Thank you.
Like, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, you could see that
Thank
place
you.
in California. Like,
Yeah.
it's a aesthetically pleasing.
Thank
The
you.
energy is gorgeous. It is top tier.
And I think the more you figure out for myself, the more I started to figure out who I am and stop, like I said, playing small and wanted to create that space where it felt
Mhm.
good to walk in.
Mhm.
And everything picked in there is picked for a certain reason.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the beginning of the new dream that I don't even know is coming my way.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it is so easy, I think, to get caught in the day-to-day smaller version
Yeah.
of, and especially as a business owner, I think I have so much respect now being in the position, because it is so different than having a job that you can, like, clock in and clock out
Yeah.
of. Like, it does really consume you,
Yes.
and it can be hard sometimes to zoom out
Yeah.
and be like, holy shit, like, I actually am
Yes.
doing what I envisioned and thought I never could do
Yes.
5, 10 years ago. I get very stuck sometimes in the, like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like, fires, this and that. And it's so funny. I have this notebook that when I moved, I found it. And when I first started working with my friend Sammy, who does my
Oh, yeah.
branding,
Yeah.
she has all her clients fill out a kind of like brand
Yeah.
identity form.
Yeah.
And I just like don't, I'm like a really big picture person. And so before I kind of like narrowed it down to fill it out for us to kind of like bring the vision to life first, I'm like, I just need to like put all my thoughts out. So I put the cheeky clean in a square in the middle. And then I have like, and I'm a handwriter, and I have like all these arrows out of like where I could see it potentially going. And if you were to open and look at that, and so the first time we met, actually, before she even gave me the brand identity thing, she's like, so tell me about your brand. And I like, open
Here it is.
to this page. And it's like,
wow,
crazy how many different areas that I wanted to go in.
Yeah.
And what's crazier is I moved recently. I found it. I opened that page. I look at it. And I mean, I put stuff in there at retire at 35,
Yeah.
which I did, which I
Wow.
never planned
Yes.
to,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's like, holy shit. Like,
Yes.
I was planting these seeds
Yes.
that I didn't even realize I was going to
Yes.
really actually bring to
Yes.
life.
And I think things that are put on our heart, and I look back at something from 10 years ago that I wrote out, I'm like, "Whoa, check, check."
Yes, I
And not
know,
all
it's
of
so
them,
right,
of
and there's
course,
always
but there's
something to continue to
that's
work
right.
to.
And then the vision board that I did, I think it was 4 years ago, I went somewhere with Lisa to,
Uh-huh.
like, a little gathering,
Mm,
and I looked at that this year, and I'm like, "Whoa, check, check." And I'm like, "Okay, these things are put on my heart for a reason, and I'm
yeah.
actually doing it." And that's the thing that Ceci was not the girl that would follow through with anything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Learn
Old Ceci.
old Ceci,
Mhm.
yes, and I'm like, "Do, actually, I can," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not perfect, but I've given myself that grace, and the more I give myself that grace, the more I wanna do for myself for
totally.
myself. I used to wanna, like, want the approval of everybody else,
100%.
and so I'd make the story look good on the outside,
Yes.
and I'm like, I wanna look in the mirror and know that I am being truthful to
Mm,
myself first and
mhm,
foremost. I think you
mhm.
can't fake it out at a certain
No,
point in life.
you can't.
You know what I mean?
And it's so easy to get caught in the external.
Yes.
And I think as humans, this is going to be like deep, but I believe that everything external is an illusion. Our souls are here on this journey for something far deeper than what we gain materially. So when we get caught up in, the pull of what's outside us versus creating what's outside us from what's within us, which is the norm,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like it's stifling and it is a true discipline and it's a constant learn to come back to the inside,
Yes.
to yourself, to your soul, to what's most important and trust that like all of that stuff will come, but it's so easy, even more so now, to get so distracted by the external.
Especially, I think when you're trying to grow something.
Yeah.
I heard something, at my church a couple weeks ago, the pastor said, "Mind your motive." And I think about that every day, truly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every decision I'm making, every interaction I have, I'm like, "What is my motive here?" You know?
Yeah, I
Keep it
really love
pure.
that.
Like, I don't want to change who I am or, just, yeah, lose myself in trying
Yeah,
to grow something, you know?
totally.
And something you said a minute ago, like, I give so much respect to the business owners that I used to just think, like, "Must be nice."
Must be
Must
nice.
be nice. I'm like,
Totally.
"Sassy, good for them." You know what I
Yes, I
mean?
know.
Even the people that I used to look at the outside must be nice, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, they work." You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like, giving I know there's such an appreciation now for people
I couldn't
that do
agree
this.
more.
I'm just so grateful to see so many women in the Cleveland area that I've gotten to know over the 6, 7, 8 years that I've been trying to build this.
Mm,
I'm so grateful that they put their story out there, however that is,
totally.
you know what I
However it
mean?
is, even if it's a conversation
Yeah.
during a spray tan session,
Yeah,
like whatever
yeah.
it might be.
It's work.
Because that connection and raw experience, which is the whole point of the podcast, it goes so much further than anything we could read.
Yeah, literally, yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the perk of something like Instagram. I'm not necessarily friends with everybody, but like
Mhm.
I said, it's so inspiring, and I'm so grateful to have seen so many people
Yeah.
build something,
Yeah.
whatever its size they want it to be. I think too, that's the other thing, like the comparison part of
Yeah.
it's like I need to just, like you just said, like, be here right now and
Mhm.
really just take it all in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can have dreams that are coming, but, like,
Mhm.
there's that fine line
Yeah.
of rushing something or wishing for the next thing,
Yes.
and I think I'm in a season where I just wanna, like, feel all of this right now
Mhm.
to prepare for the next level, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's so we live in a very much like an achievement society, and I think I've kind of been raised in a high achieving equals praise kind of world, and to my parents' credit, like my mom knew what I was capable of, like almost more than I
Yeah.
did. So she would put me in these situations to really stretch me and try to go for the highest version of myself achievement wise. And so I think like I do have this natural ability to like hustle or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so hard to, kinda discern from that hustle
Yes.
and realize that it's not the thing that you're achieving that matters at all.
Ye
It's who you're becoming in the process.
yes.
And where I struggle and have been lately is with that comparison because now so I went from it's so weird because when I was in corporate, and I don't know if you can relate to this at all, but when I was in corporate and I was just sharing on the Cheeky Clean as a hobby or for fun,
Yeah, yeah.
I had this. I loved it. It was so fun. I loved connecting. I loved like sharing any little ways, like how I was traveling, what I was doing, ways I was incorporating cleaner living into my life, the brands I was very similar to what I do now. But it was, it was just for fun and it was a hobby. It wasn't my identity. And I had such like delusional belief in myself at that point. Like I would tell corporate people all the time, I'm like, just wait. I'm going to build something huge. And you guys are all going to see, and to the point where I had a lot of corporate friends and still do that come to me asking me for recommendations when it's like, you guys sell the same chemicals I do. I just am like putting the worlds together and taking the research to the next level because I'm so passionate about it based on what my family experienced, And anyways, I had this like really delusional self-belief in myself. And I always knew like something like I'm going to figure this out. And because I love it. I jumped because it got so misaligned for me. And I think there was so much about my corporate career that was so powerful. I learned so much, like in all ways, it was a beautiful thing. But it just like this crossroads had come where it wasn't aligned with the vessel I was trying to build anymore. And I didn't have the plan B set up by any means. It's not like I was like making money and I'm like, cool, now's the time. I had invested heavily in my corporate job, which allowed me this kind of like financial ability to transition. But I didn't realize how much of my full identity I put into my career and myself as this like big material businesswoman. But then when I like stripped that away, it was such a like shell-shocking process. And so this whole last year has been about like, I've been like pulled between two worlds of on one side, really trying to do the work to become the version of myself that is this person that's building what I want to build with the Cheeky Clean. But then there's this other side of myself that's almost like the devil on my shoulder that's like hustle, do more, like achieving, like whatever it takes, like put a product out, do this. And like those worlds don't align. No. And it pulls me away from the becoming process when I'm distracted with the achievement side of things. And Instagram, which has always been this safe space of me building my community, had become a little bit this like space of comparison for me. And I've found myself like recently kind of really having a lot of self-doubt and fear and like very much what I would say is like the opposite of high spiritual living. Feelings and energy around me. And I'm really trying to navigate that. Have you felt that at all?
I 100% have felt that. And I feel like that's where, like, minding my motive, trying to keep the heart pure. Like, I feel like you have to be staying mindful of that. And I also feel like this is where I sort of put my blinders on, because if I let myself fall into that, I know that I can't level up to where I'm supposed to go.
I know, exactly.
And isn't that sort of like the enemy tries to hold us back?
No, it is.
Okay,
and so that's
like,
where,
I guess I don't know
and I really want to talk to you about
Like,
the spiritual process.
God's calling on my life is bigger than I can even comprehend.
100%.
So the minute I start to feel things that come after me, I'm like, okay, I am on the right path. I'm here to fulfill something that was put on my life that I can't even wrap my head around. And it's bigger than I even understand. And when I use the words bigger, it doesn't necessarily mean like bigger, like thousand, billion, purposeful. There you go. That's when I know I'm on the right path. So that's when I really tap into my faith. Because that's my foundation now. And when I understood that, everything changed for me truly on a foundational level. So it's tested. It's tested.
And I'm in a space right now where it's funny. I was like having this conversation with my boyfriend last night because I feel like even just this weekend, I'm being illuminated to me, it's like an ego mind. It's negative thoughts. It's doubt. It's fear. It's everything that's not faith. And that's what I've realized is this like coming to is that I've got to get back to my faith first and foremost. And I do a lot of personal like meditating and praying and studying. But as of recently, because I'm so honed in on putting content out and seeing this external world that isn't necessarily connecting on the basis of faith. It's a little bit more superficial that I'm getting caught in that world.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I do need a spiritual community of sorts.
Yes, it's a game changer.
And I'm really looking for that right now.
I truly like, I feel like the more I have worked on that first and foremost,
Mhm.
the less of that that's pulling me. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it,
What does your spiritual community
yep.
look like?
So I go to Hope Christian Church.
Okay.
A friend of mine, I've always been in faith, I should say. Like I
Yeah.
was raised Catholic. Of course, I come from a
Same.
Spanish background. So,
Mhm.
but it was and I never want to put anything down. I'll just tell you my background. So
Yeah.
that's how I was raised. But of course, it was just very much check off the boxes.
Yep.
But I am grateful that the seed got planted then, right?
Totally.
Backstory though to that, being that I am from Hispanic like heritage or lineage, my ancestors though practice a whole different spiritual life that
Yeah.
was not in any of that, to the point that I still feel like we're working on that. You know what I mean? They tapped
Yeah.
into witchcraft, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's funny to see just trickles of that can still sort of linger. But
Mhm.
anyways, so a friend of mine took me to Hope Christian Church. I've been going there
Where's that?
it's in Avon.
Okay.
Um, Probably now 4 years, but again, just sort of like tiptoed in because I wasn't ready for it at that point,
Mhm.
at least I thought.
Mhm.
And then I started Bible study and
Mhm.
I wanted community.
Yeah, that's where I
I didn't
feel.
just want to walk in and walk out and not know. And I used to, this is the other funny thing. I used to be like, oh, look, they all have friends. Like they say hi to each other.
Exactly.
Victim mentality.
Yeah.
Like they're not being nice to me. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I was walking in and out.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I started just Bible study and then didn't show up for 5 weeks, showed up 1 week, didn't do the homework, all the
Mhm.
things, that
Mhm.
were my
Mhm.
personality before. And I kept wondering, like, why didn't I have a friend? You know what I mean? Still
Yeah.
victim, victim, victim.
Yeah.
Like, even at church, like, why, And then I started being accountable and I wanted to learn finally, truly
Mhm.
to understand. So I
Mhm.
started to be consistent at Bible study.
Mhm.
And guess what? I made friends and I had places to sit and I
Mhm.
had people that cared about me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you put the work in, you put the time in," and,
Mhm.
um
And who are helping you evolve spiritually,
yes,
not just materially.
and not the easy yes.
Yes.
Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? The truth.
Challenge
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, that
see
I
what you can't see sometimes.
yes, and with love, of course, so I just started to just become more consistent, faithful. I do my Bible study weekly.
Mhm.
I do the homework, because
Yeah.
that's when you learn,
Yeah.
and that's sort of the part of the integrity part or the mind your motive part, like showing up. This is about me.
Mhm.
I don't. They don't care if I do the homework.
Totally, it's about you.
It's about me.
Yep.
So now I can be like, whoa. And now I'm reaping the benefits of
Yep.
that,
Yep.
foundation. With that being said, I do things now where I surround myself. It's like anything else. It's now I get it why parents tell their kids, surround yourself with what you want to
It's
become
so
or what
true.
it's a true fact. And it doesn't mean you can't be friends with a lot of people. Like I'm
Yes.
not saying like don't
Yes.
right.
Right.
It's not what I mean.
Right.
But there is something to be said about surrounding yourself with people that believe in what you believe in
Yeah.
and that will still challenge you and they don't
Yeah.
just appease you.
Yes. And I do feel like I have a few friends who are such great resources in accountability and faith. But for me, I feel I'm an immersive person.
Yeah, 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 you
And
are.
I'm like, there's something about like going into a space of worship for me
Yeah,
that shifts the energy. And I
absolutely.
almost feel like I'm craving so deeply. And I want to find like the right space and the right community for
Yeah,
me because I am in this space where it's like, it's all unknown right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And it is no longer this comfort blanket that I can carry around of getting
yeah,
my steady paycheck and this and that. And it's, putting ourselves out there. And there's a lot of opportunity for this negative side to creep
absolutely.
back in.
Yes,
And that's when it's like, no, I don't need to make more reels. I need to double down on my spiritual practice
yes,
right now and surround myself with people who are going to help hold me accountable to get there. Because when I wake up in the morning, it's a lot easier for me to like instantly have my mind start going on like, what do I need to do today to move the business forwards?
absolutely.
When really it should be like, what can I do today to get closer to the light within me?
Yes, and that's too, like, I think, I've changed of course, the more you grow too, like, my non-negotiables have changed, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I pray now when I wake
Yeah.
up, I do my Bible like, I listen to worship music, things that
Mhm.
really put me in that mindset because I used to wake
Yes.
up like you, like, either worried about something, worried
Yes.
about the kids, and now I'm like, "Thank you." Like, let me pause for a minute, let me
Yes.
start my day off with true foundation that
Yes.
can help me throughout the
And
day,
we
you
don't
know what I mean?
realize sometimes because we're so like trained mentally, like where your attention goes is what you become.
Yes, absolutely.
And the norm of just like getting on Instagram, even though it's good for business, and like distracting ourselves with, mindless reality TV or like whatever it is, it's taking away from the opportunity to be filling yourself with a different type of content that will help shift your mind for the positive.
Yes.
And so I really need to get so disciplined on my spiritual practice because I think what I've noticed mostly is that I've been questioning a lot lately. I'm like, am I like far away from my intuition? Like, why do I feel like I need like 17 opinions before I proceed? Like, I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to figure out if like I want to have biological children. Like I'm 37 and it's like, I like don't know. And I'm being kind of like shaken awake of, okay, I need to go inside and be able to not only ask for guidance, but more importantly, be able to listen.
Receive it.
Yeah.
And in those moments when we're looking, so tapping into just that stillness with the word, that's how I do it too. And the more I understand the Bible, the stronger I can discern for myself. Because like you, I wanted everyone's approval for everything. And I still do want to talk to people, right? But more of it's coming from myself and to help me be mindful of the things happening around me. So I think there is something to be said about really understanding that and taking the time. And I think too, like I know how you're like you'll read the whole Bible before I'm done with Genesis. You know what I mean? So like you'll be calling me like Ceci, hold on a second.
I am
like our personalities are different. So mine is like the slow and steady.
But the slow and steady wins the race.
But I'm retaining it and it brings me joy. I'm not like and the more to let's just say service, I'm like, oh, right. So like for me, I need that slow and steady because anytime I'm extreme, I'm pretty much done for.
But that's the thing is like I have a pull towards the extreme. But I need the consistent habit in order to like see the shift. And that's where I'm at right now is like I need something consistently. And I've done the extreme. Like I went to Dr. Joe for 7 days and it changed my whole life. But as even Dr. Joe always says, it's the work that you do after. And
integration part of it.
The integration. And it's the constant work on the soul and the spirit and the heart it needs to come first. And I've found myself over the last few months, like bringing a product to life, like doing all these great things, but putting this unnecessary hustle on myself when it's like, who's giving me the deadline of when the product needs to launch? Like, if I can't take the time in the morning and it's I look at this and I'm like, when will I ever have this time again to create my own schedule and life? And why not take advantage of it in a way that's allowing me to grow evolutionary? And not just like, rush through the whole thing and lose myself a little bit.
Intentional, of course, like intentionality too, and just being. And for me, it was a lot of like I had time to do all the other things, like Pilates. I was making time for stuff, and those things are great too. But I'm like, wait, but why do I still feel so off? Right, because I was putting that as like the last thing on my list.
And I meditate every day. Like that's important to me. But I think where I need, like I said, is the next step for me is I need inspiration and connection with the people who are also doing the spiritual work because I can be really self-isolating. I'm really comfortable in that space.
I used to be,
And I've kind of like noticed myself isolating my spiritual practice. And I'm like,
and the minute I switched
it's stifling me a little bit.
It was a game changer for me. Like things now, I'm like, I can't wait for Tuesdays. Because this is where I'm surrounded by, it's feeding me, feeding my soul.
So I'm kind of on this mission of finding what that looks like for me. I did go to a church yesterday morning that I liked. I don't want to say, I don't know. I got to do some like, praying on it.
Absolutely.
Because then it will open up for me. And I feel like it's this stillness and, this ability to listen that I need now community around and I need to learn more about and tap in a little deeper.
And like you said, when we're still to listen a lot more, like so many little nudges. Now I get it. I'm like, okay, I see.
So you were kind of like feeling like you were stepping in a little bit more to the spiritual side. You were changing, of course. And then it's not like you were like, like I'm kind of being crazy of like,
Yeah.
okay, where do I
Like
fit?
I said, you'll have the whole
You
Bible read and done, and I'll
you
still
you
be
were like
chipping.
opening yourself to
Yeah.
like trusting whatever was coming, and someone invited you to this church and it just clicked.
Yeah, it clicked. Yep.
And like you said, it took time.
Takes time. Yeah. And it takes, again, being intentional. Like I would
Mhm.
started to understand I wanted to go here. I didn't,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the heart posture,
Yeah. Yep.
everything is important that
Yep.
we do.
Yep.
And I felt like the more I feel alive. I feel like my life is just beginning. I can't explain how it's trickling into literally every relationship, every business decision I make, like how I treat myself. Like it really has been
Yes.
that much of a game changer. How that when the hard days come and I think like I don't have it in me, it gets me through. And so I feel like why wouldn't I want to learn more about this? Why don't I want to read
Totally.
the Bible more?
Yeah.
I used to look at every self-help book and that's the only book I need, but now I can still read other things, but I put it through that lens from that's how
Got
you
it.
know what I mean? And everybody's journey is different, just like anything
Mhm.
else. But for
Mhm.
me, that's been the game changer,
Yeah.
straight up, like I used to say.
Yeah, the stillness has really changed me as a person.
Yeah.
Like if you knew me,
Yeah.
you could anyone can call all my ex-boyfriends and find out how I used to be, but like I was a extremely reactive
Yeah.
person.
Oh, me too. And I will say, like, again, like, I mean, so many now I'm like, "Whoa, Ceci, you didn't, like,
Yes.
go off, or you didn't, like, get" my go-to was always victim.
Totally.
Everything victim. Like, you name it, it
And like
was
blaming
yes, and
anything.
I was the best
Mhm.
Ceci and everyone else was the
Yeah.
right? And the more I've switched that, it's like, that's the freeing part of it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I feel
Totally.
like, we all need I guess, like I said, the Bible for me is where
Yeah.
I'm at,
Well, I
and
think for me, like where I'm feeling the shift is it's like I have seen all of these changes in my life from cultivating stillness and peace. It's helped me transcend addiction. It's helped me transcend codependent relationships. It's helped me show up so differently in my life. But this like piece that's missing for me, that's like now my next level of
yeah,
evolution is that with my parents passing uh, in my 20s, I kind of like lost faith a little bit
for
that
sure.
anyone was out there like taking care of me.
Yeah,
And I think I had this survival mode kick on that was like, you got to have you because no one
yes,
else has you. Like I
right,
lost this unconditional love in my parents and I'm
yeah,
like, nah, okay, I got to protect myself. And so it
yes,
was always this like protection.
yeah,
And I think I'm at this point now where I'm almost revisiting some of these things of like, if I don't do this for my business, like it's not going to happen. And it's like, there is something bigger that is protecting me. Like,
yes,
really, truly knowing
wow.
that and feeling that, like, that's the next level for
Yes,
me.
yeah, and like you said, it's on your heart for a reason,
It's
so,
on my
like,
heart for a
yeah,
reason.
now you gotta give it the time and
Yeah,
the listen and and the
totally.
be. Yeah.
For sure. And then it's like, gosh knows what will bloom from that. Like, look what's bloomed for you.
Yeah,
And
and like I said, I feel like this is just the beginning, like,
yeah, let's
that I
talk a
can't
little
even
bit about
imagine.
like first off like what products you're offering now
Yeah,
outside of spray tanning
yeah,
because we've talked a little bit about that. And just from like a cheeky
yeah,
perspective, like I
yeah,
said and I have said before, the skin is our largest organ
yep,
and it is highly absorbable. So
yes,
when we talk about the toxin load, honestly, it's the things that you're doing on a consistent basis is what needs to be the priority.
you
It's
got
not
it.
about perfect and,
Yes,
every now and again doing this or that. And it's not about like never doing something, having a chemical again. It's about what are your consistent daily
yes,
habits, whether they're Bible study for
yeah,
your
right,
mind
anything,
and
yeah,
soul,
true.
or whether it's putting on cleaner makeup
Yep,
that's sinking into your skin. It's like,
got it.
what are you accumulating
Yes,
within your body and mind?
yes,
And the spray tan side of things, the standard formula is full of dyes. It's
yep,
full of chemicals and it just sinks into your skin. Oftentimes we'll sleep in it, and it can be a big burden, especially if it's something that you do
on the
really
reg. Yeah,
consistently. So the cleaner minimalist version is such a way to reduce that toxin load
yep,
while still having access to something that does make you feel and look better.
yep, yep,
And so it's so cool that you've made that accessible for us
yeah.
here. And it is the cleanest spray tan in Cleveland.
Truly, I think so. And
Mm.
I want to say too, like, I think the sunless industry is leveling up all the
Mhm.
time. And I think just like any product, you can find better for you. Like, that's the stance I take on everything I do in life. Like, I don't ever want to say, like, you have to do this, or if you don't do this, like, I think it's cumulative. I
Yep.
think obviously a lot of people don't get spray tanned often. So it's a
Mhm.
very small piece of their
Yep.
lifestyle.
Yep.
I'm more thinking of like the whole package. So that's why
Yes.
we do carry like your collagen.
Yes.
This is why the lotion that we do carry is Olivia, because I'm like, okay, they're using that every day.
Yes.
This is where I want to hone in if they care, because I want to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's not about lecture or shame. It's just
No.
like, hey, if,
Options
yeah,
available.
if this is something that interests you, then let me give you something here that I
Mhm.
stand by. You
Mhm.
know,
And make it easy to
yeah,
choose and
give you
having the options there
yes.
for you.
Yes, we keep it simpler and
Yeah.
smaller. Profit margin, could I find something that I could make way more? Absolutely, but it doesn't align with me. I do believe in certain things, and because people focus on only their face most of the time, it's like this is the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach people about their whole body.
Yep.
So down to even how we exfoliate, like
Yep.
not even just for a spray tan, like it's good for blood flow, it's good for
Yes.
lymphatic,
Yep.
it's good for fat. So it's more so the whole holistic
Right.
approach,
And
right?
when realizing that beauty is so much bigger
Yes.
than, like getting your spray tan before you go on your trip.
Yes.
It's
Like
about like,
the whole year. Like, and this is what
yes.
I tell people, it's almost like stay spray tan ready isn't about just the spray tan. It's actually keeping your skin healthy
Yep.
all the time, just like we only focus on our face. Why don't we care about exfoliating our whole body?
Exactly.
Why
So
aren't we
true.
caring about the lotion that we're putting on our body or the
Mhm.
body oil, whatever the
Yep.
thing may be? So I think that's like my goal. I
It's
want people to
amazing.
just like, why don't we want silky smooth? I have silky smooth skin, but
Mhm.
it's been done with really clean products.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not here to say this is the way that I believe in for me,
Yeah.
and I hope
Yeah.
to share that with people
And I
that
think as
care.
someone who's passionate about the beauty industry and
Yeah.
has always enjoyed, as many women, myself included, do, we want options,
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
think it's hard sometimes to know what to choose and where to choose
Yes.
it. And, with you not only being a expert in the beauty
Yeah.
space, so you like a product that's going to go on well, feel
That
well.
was the other thing too. It has to
Yes.
perform.
It has to
It has to
perform.
perform. It has to be, because I do enjoy makeup, so I had to so we carry a makeup line now.
Yep.
It's clean, better for you,
Mhm.
but I also want to just it's still a makeup line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not like 100% organic, natural. No, I will never say that, but
Yeah.
it does perform.
Mhm.
It's made in Australia, or no, Sweden, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, they probably source from different places, but anyways, so I just know it's free of a lot of those harsh ingredients, but
Yes.
by no means am I you who's gonna be like, "Okay, I can't go down the line," you know? I
Mhm.
try to stay
Totally.
informed
And I
and
still have
educated.
a mix in my life,
Yeah,
To me, it's about consciousness,
balance in a way. We
balance.
live in in America, okay? In
Yeah.
USA, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, listen, we're getting bombarded with a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to just give a little bit better for you
Yep. And
in
better for
one
you
space
is what the standard should be.
and with good intentions. When you walk
Yes.
into Bronze and Beauty, I literally care about every little piece of what you're looking to come for. Like, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? If you're
Yep.
coming in for a product, I'm going to give you the best that I got
Yeah.
with my heart and intention. And
Love
I'm
that.
never just going to be like, you need every single piece. Like, I'm not Sephora, and I used to love Sephora, but I stopped feeling good walking in there.
Mm.
Um, I just felt like
And
this
your
is not.
hormones were disrupted.
Yeah, yeah, and I was dying. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, no, no, I still don't get me wrong. I have a gift card for Sephora and I will go
Yeah.
use it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wanted somewhere where it's that one-on-one
It's a
small
different
business.
energy.
Yeah. And we
Mhm.
truly care about you as a person and we want to have fun. This is meant to be fun and make you
Yeah.
feel good.
And I think what's so cool is with your purpose of wanting to create that better energy, that higher vibration
Yes.
around your business, you are now a vessel for other businesses
Yeah,
who
I hope.
also want to reach that consumer
Yeah.
that is interested in this beautiful energy exchange that can be consumerism,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like Olivia, where, like you said,
Yes.
you could very easily be carrying brands that
Other brands.
maximize your profit
Yeah.
margin, but that's a brand that's smaller batch, made with intention, better for you ingredients. And
Woman owned is important to me too if I can
yes,
source it well.
yeah.
And
And it's this trickle down effect. As a consumer, we think, what's it matter what I buy? When it's bought with intention, it's this trickle down
yeah.
effect. So you're supporting Bronze and
Yeah.
Beauty by purchasing something from there, but then the product that you're buying is supporting a small woman owned
Yeah.
brand,
Yeah.
which is supporting a smaller, more conscious manufacturer, which
Yes.
is supporting the farming and the welfare of
Yeah.
better quality
Yeah.
ingredients. This trickle effect
Yes.
that is energy shifting as
Yeah.
a societal whole. And
Agreed.
that's the power.
Yeah, and it comes with true like I said, I feel like if you do things with good intentions, it makes a difference in how people can trust you
Yeah.
and they wanna support you, you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
like I said, like, the beauty world is a tough world to navigate,
Yeah.
but we try to do our best, and I source the best I can, even not even the cleanest on the market, but we do have other solutions that they're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to have some things in there that the dyes that people do like the bronzer. And do I like a good bronzer sometimes? Yeah, I do
Mhm.
sometimes, but I
Yeah.
weigh, like you said, I weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
And then what's my lifestyle like outside of this? I mean,
Exactly.
that's the thing that
And how
too,
does
like,
it balance out?
yeah, one spray tan or one, whatever the thing may be, or one trip to McDonald's, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, isn't the deal breaker. So I
Mm-mm.
don't ever want people to be like obsessed or scared because I don't think it has to be that way.
Right.
What else are you doing to support your body?
Absolutely. And
On the
how are
on
you detoxing?
Yeah.
And are you finding time to move your
Yeah.
fascia and move the
Dude,
chemicals
that's
through
been such a game
you?
changer for me that I hope to talk about one day in the studio. But yeah, fascia and all those things that we can do. And detoxing doesn't have to be this huge thing like I did,
No.
21 days. At that time, I
Yeah.
needed that so intensely. But sometimes I do other little things, and I
Yeah.
think it is bio-individual. I
Yep.
think if your mind can handle certain things, then you can do maybe a longer fast. But
Yeah.
regardless, it's different for everybody. And I think sometimes what we put up in the mind, if you're going to be fear based or you're going to be so
Which is
upset,
what we were just talking about.
then
And I don't ever wanna come off as someone who's, like, I know how to read ingredients, so
yeah,
I wanna make it easier for
yes. And you
consumers to
have
make a
so much.
conscious choice.
Absolutely. I think
But
it's
it's
amazing.
not saying, like, "Don't use this or
Oh,
else." I
no.
mean, like, it's not lost on me that I
Let
have
not,
tattoos.
yeah.
Tattoos are toxic.
It's so funny now when you learn more and more. I'm like, oh, shit.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like but it's like every time I get a tattoo, I am so mindful in the
Yes.
space where I'm getting it,
Yes.
who's doing it,
Yes.
and upping my detox over that next month. So it's like I'm never missing that sauna for the
Yeah,
next month. I'm
exactly.
making sure that I'm not skimping on my workout routine.
Yes.
I'm doing these other things, celery juice every morning, because
Yes.
it's like I want my body to
Support
be
your
able to
body.
eliminate
Yes.
and we are meant to process and
And
eliminate
naturally,
toxins.
God made this body
Yes.
to heal. And
Yes.
that's what's amazing too. Like we are naturally made. Yes, sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need other things, but like we can tap into so many little things
Yeah.
that are not even that are free.
Yes.
I was very fortunate to have a lot of resources that I poured into those couple years when I literally was fighting for my life.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, less is more. I don't have to do
Less is more.
all of these things. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So I want
What are a couple of your
yeah.
staples that are,
So
like, the less that you're like, "This is what I stick to," from,
yes.
like, a conscious living
Yeah.
standpoint?
Well, of course, sleep, turning my phone off a half hour at least before that I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yes.
Red light in my room,
Yeah.
like those little things that you put me onto that.
Yeah. Do
I
you have a, therapeutic one or just the bulb?
just the bulbs, but my kids
Yes,
just
me
bought me the
too.
higher dose blanket that's an infrared or like little
Amazing.
thing. But
Yeah. But it's
um
that little stuff. It's like you don't have to spend 4 grand on the like crazy
yeah.
expensive one. You can just like shift out your light
And it
bulb and it
changes the
teaches your
energy. Yeah,
brain.
I feel like those are the more like things like that. I read my Bible now. The last thing that I do, what I'm putting into my mind. Where I used to watch TV
Amazing.
till you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I love a sauna. I have a sauna little like zip up one that you just
Yeah.
sit in.
Yeah.
Just again,
And what do you do for movement?
yeah. So Pilates is huge for me right now.
Amazing.
I like to weight train, sort
Yeah.
of like you. I switch it up
Yeah.
depending on the time of life, but I'm truly enjoying Pilates right now. So that's been a shift in my life recently, or a
Love
huge
that.
addition, I should
Love
say.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like movement is huge.
Mm.
What I'm reading, of course. I don't snack. That's the one huge thing that I gave up. I used to be like a grazer all day,
Yeah.
and I think that's how I was able to lose weight. And I hate to take it back to that, but like this small shift where I have 3 meals a day. If I do want a snack, I back it into. So blood sugar regulation.
Yes,
There we
blood
go.
sugar
I'll
regulation.
stop at
And
that.
it goes back to like there's nothing wrong with wanting to be at a healthy weight for your body.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's learning the tools
Yes,
because you want your body functioning
yes,
in that higher level of
yes,
consciousness, not because you want people
yes. There
to
you
say
go.
you're skinny.
Yes, or what did you do? And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're really not going to believe this, but I stopped snacking and everything changed. Like that
Yeah,
was a part of the big change. I was able to
totally.
lose weight because I stopped throwing my blood sugar all over the
Yep.
place. It can literally be that small of a shift. It was a hard shift, don't get me wrong, because I was like
Totally.
that person that wanted,
Yeah. And we just don't know until we make a small shift in habit. I've recently been trying to dial in a little bit more on my nutrition side of
yeah,
things because I'm like, for how hard I train,
yeah,
I do want to.
yeah,
I'm just like sensing that my blood sugar's a little bit
yeah,
off, you
yeah,
know? I'm actually going to get blood work done and just see like where my hormones are at.
yeah.
But of course, like I want to
Well, yeah,
be
because I feel like
aesthetically like
me
where I'm
too.
at, but I want to feel good.
Yes, I wanna be strong. That's
Yes.
like, I wanna be strong, but yeah, of course I wanna look good,
And
right?
it's
To
like I
me.
notice like a heaviness and inflammation that
Yes, the pump,
comes
yeah, 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 that's
when
the
it's
ding.
not an aligned.
Yes, that's the difference
Yep.
maker, like, I don't wanna feel that feeling
Yep.
because it usually means I'm inflamed everywhere, which includes my brain, which so I
Mhm.
feel like, um yeah, and like I said, it's different for everyone, and it changes. Sometimes in my life,
Changes.
like, I'm a big smoothie girl, I stack it really well with a lot of really good ingredients, but I was at a time where I'm like, "This no longer feels good for me. I need to
Yes.
shift out of
And
this."
it goes back to like that intuition
Yes,
feeling in your
intuition. I didn't
body.
need a test. I didn't need someone to tell me. I was like, all right,
Yes.
gave it up. And now I'm like 5 or 6 weeks. I'm like, okay, now my body's craving it again. So just
Love
being
that.
mindful. And
Do you take any supplements on a consistent
I do
basis?
take some, like right now I'm doing some, I did some testing, sort of
Mhm.
like what you did. I work with a doctor who's a little more functional, I guess you would say,
Mhm.
based. But so we're just added a couple things like zinc and,
Mhm.
you know, vitamin B methylated kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Mhm.
Um, when you sort of start to realize like how foundational little things like that can be to help your hormones process,
Yeah.
right? To help all these things, you're like, no wonder I wasn't feeling good. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So I feel like that's the also like part
And
of
finding
this.
what works for you consistently, like we said,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to take a supplement stack of 50, but if you can do one thing, put the collagen in your coffee in the morning,
Yes.
you know you're going to drink your tea or coffee. It's such a great
Habit
way to
stacking, in which
add
we've talked about,
consistently.
yes, and it's a non-negotiable, like, I
Yeah.
just came off of a vacation, for 9 days, and I stayed very as close to as possible by still enjoying my vacation,
Yeah.
but, like, collagen came with me.
Love
Do you know what
that.
I mean? My,
Yes.
electrolytes came with me, like, I
Yes.
try to keep myself foundational in a couple things,
Yep.
but knowing life can throw some curveballs,
Yep.
just like anything else. Stay consistent, give your body time. I think
Mhm.
people wanna rush things, and it's like,
Mhm.
just doesn't work that way,
No, it
unfortunately.
takes consistency.
And you just wanna enjoy the process as much as possible because it's
Yep.
already tough as it is to, like,
Yeah.
read everything, go shopping for
Yeah.
it, hope they have it in the store. Like,
100%.
dude, just, like, try to enjoy it, give yourself grace, give yourself time,
And trust it.
and trust yourself.
Mhm.
Trust yourself.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, so beautiful. So where do you guys see everything? I always
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
calling it
I know,
everything beauty.
trust me, my voicemail still
Bronze
says
and
everything
beauty.
beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see it evolving to
Yeah.
next?
Yeah, I think, obviously, we're still in the baby stages of growing the
Yeah.
business on this level. I
Yep.
have 3 amazing people that spray for me. They're literally the kindest people I know. So I think just growing this current space,
Mhm.
enjoying this right
Mhm.
now. I think that more so than the business side, I think I'm in a stage of life where giving back is going to be huge on a personal side. So I'm hoping to start a passion project, nonprofit coming up. Yeah, in the
Oh.
next we'll see. Like, I think it's coming, and I
Yeah.
think that I'm giving back is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I want to give back, because I've been so blessed. So I think Bronze and Beauty will be a part of that, but I
Mhm.
almost feel like that foundation has been set.
Yep.
Now
It's such
it's
a cool thing to see you go from when you tell your story, like this person who was questioning themselves and like looking for this guidance to now stepping into the space where you're going to be the one providing that light for others. Like,
yes,
isn't that a
that's
powerful
it. Oh
thing?
my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's really beautiful. And it's all because of the
wow.
personal work that you've done.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
really
dream.
impressive.
That's the dream, and now it's really truly time to give back, and I'm
Yeah.
super pumped about that, and I can't
Hmm.
wait for that to unfold
So
and
cool.
share it with people, and
So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm so passionate about having my product in places that are consciously
Yeah.
aligned. So I'm so honored that the collagen is inside your incredibly beautiful
I'm so
space.
excited because, brands can say no to small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
um, even if you sort of are in alignment with them.
Yeah.
So when I reached out to you, I was like, whatever she says, yes or no, is perfect because that's how I want it to be, right? And no attachment to that feeling.
No.
I
And
mean,
that's so crazy where it's like you were on my list
it's
already.
so
And it's like
funny.
I was just
I was
like
like
getting
so
my shit
nervous
together to
and like,
ask you.
and it's funny how we can set that
Yeah.
mind trap.
I
Do you
know.
know what I mean?
I
And
know.
I was like, I'm girl, like, what's the worst she'll say? No, and that's okay too. Like, I'll whatever.
And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
So I was
Yeah.
like, and that's like, I'm so honored that you would say yes.
Oh my
And
gosh. I'm so honored for the
so
space,
like, I
Ceci.
feel like that's the kind of feeling we have when I think
Yes.
about the things I do and eat BB or carry at BB, like
Yes.
even I might never meet the Olivia owner, but like I'm grateful that she said yes to let me carry her
Yes.
brand
It's
in our
so
store.
what an energy you're cultivating by
It's a big
having that
deal.
mindset.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different than, these big box
Small
commercial
people,
stores
yeah.
that you have to, like, go through
Yeah, they
55
forget about the small
gatekeepers.
people sometimes. Like we carried a
Yes.
line and it doesn't matter what line it was, and they got way bigger
Mhm.
and they're like, we can't sell to you anymore. And my people love, like my customers loved it, but
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And again, did not get, I was a little annoyed. I won't lie,
Yeah.
right? Because I was like,
Right.
what the, yeah, bummed because I really liked it. But my point is like when you let go of that negative
Mm.
attachment to that answer,
Mm.
and you're like, all right, cool, that's done. Let's find something new that
Letting
wants
go
to
of the
let,
outcome.
yeah, and wants to be in our studio.
Yes.
Right? That's what I want around. Those are the people that I want to say yes to me.
It's so
You know what I
true.
mean? And when
Yes.
those things are time to move on, okay, it's time to move
It's
on. And
time to move on.
thank you for giving me that opportunity.
And I think that goes in anything. It's like thinking about like dating or whatever it
Yeah,
is. It's like
friendships.
letting go
Yes.
to let what's meant for you in. And it can be
Yes.
so hard during the letting go
Yes.
process, but you're creating space.
Yes. And if an employee wants to leave, like I want people to just be happy, but
Hmm.
also follow their heart. If
Yeah,
time a product can't be sold, an employee has to leave. Okay, like thank you so much for what you
totally.
did for me,
Absolutely.
being a part of this journey. And my first employee doesn't work for me anymore, but we are buddies. And like she
Totally.
cares about BB, like she
Yes.
cares about me. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for those kinds of people. So yeah, when it's time to shift, it's time to shift. And you
Yeah.
can't be afraid of the shift. And
Totally.
I no longer get that, no, I shouldn't say no longer, but that pit that used to
Yeah.
feel scary and like
Yes.
dreadful.
Yes.
I don't have that as much anymore,
Totally.
and I'm so grateful for that,
Yeah.
you know?
That's so incredible. And I'm so grateful for you. And
Yes.
thank you for not only being an incredible friend, but inspiration.
I'm so grateful for you. Like, this is such a big deal. I
Oh
mean,
my
like,
gosh, it's so
yeah,
beautiful. I think it's like
it's
a true
awesome.
testament to the type of people and energy that comes in
Yeah,
your life. We're gonna
truly.
we're gonna
I
both
know.
cry.
Yeah, friendships like this and people's lives that we'll be able to be a part of, I'm grateful for, even if I never meet somebody.
So
Like,
true.
I'm just grateful to have this opportunity to share my story. And I was literally like, I don't even know if I deserve to be here.
Oh my God,
You've had
Ceci.
some really amazing people, and their stories have really been like, "Whoa." So I'm really grateful for
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being such an incredible person in our community, friend in my life. God moves through you, girl.
thank you. I'm really, yeah, I'm
And
very
anyone who
humbled.
crosses your path is
Thank
honored
you.
and lucky.
I feel the same way, truly, every person. I literally am I'm like, "Thank you, God, for this life." I didn't know what was
So
coming, and I'm
true.
just grateful.
You're
Yay.
amazing. So we are gonna give the Cheekies a
Yeah. Yeah.
discount off a spray tan
Yes.
with code Cheeky.
Yes, you got it. Yep.
Perfect. So check out Bronze and Beauty,
Yeah.
so beautiful in
Yeah.
Westlake. Go in there, shop. What are your hours?
Yep. So our store hours are this is what we'll be building. So right now we're
Yeah.
still by appointment only typically, but we are going to build to be a store
Yeah.
and an actual place that people can shop. So that's what I need to build and work on.
We're laughing because I put store hours up
Well,
on my
I
website.
will
I
say,
do.
Mom, like, do we have store hours? Because she's like, you can't say yes and then not be there.
Yeah.
So this is where discipline time.
Yeah.
The next step, the next stage of Bronze and Beauty, I want it to be a place where people can come shop just anytime. So
Yeah.
that's in the works, but we do have hours that are on our site.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But
Perfect.
or they can DM on
Yeah,
Instagram. And I'll come
DM.
up there anytime.
You're so
I will show up if you're like
responsive on the DMs.
Yes.
So yeah, and honestly, book a spray tan.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
See the great products that they're
Yes.
offering. Incredible. It's such a cheeky space.
Yeah, I
So
hope so.
use code cheeky, see
Yeah.
what's going on
Yeah.
there, grab some collagen on your way out.
Yes, grab
And
some collagen.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yay.
Thank you so much,
So
Ceci.
this is amazing. If
So
this is just
grateful
for
for
us,
you.
I have been this is
Exactly. Which
everything it
is
was
what
meant to be.
creating is meant to be.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for
Thank you.
listening. And if you did love this episode, please like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, wherever you listen. For more conscious living resources, please go to www.TheCheekyClean.com. And to shop the collagen online and to stay tuned for what else is dropping very soon, please go to ConsciousCart.com. You can find me at The Cheeky Clean on Instagram and you guys at
Bronze and Beauty.
Bronze and Beauty. We'll leave all of our contact information below. I'll have a link for where you can book a spray tan with code Cheeky.
Yes.
Ceci, thank you. I can't wait to see where you go next, girl.
Same for you. So excited.
Thank you. Bye, Cheekies.